What's up guys, my name is Naam. So in today's video, I'm going to give you an update about the unemployment extension, and I'll also do a FAQ towards the end of the video, so I'll answer some commonly asked questions that I'm still receiving. So I guess in my previous videos, I'm talking a little bit too fast. For some reason, I feel like I'm talking too slow, but if I'm talking too slow in this video, you guys can always watch this video on 1.5 times speed or 2 times speed up here or down here. So with that out of the way, now let's talk about what is the current status of the unemployment benefit extension. As we all know, if you guys are collecting unemployment or thinking about collecting, the $600 a week unemployment benefit is due to expire by the end of this month, and most states are discontinuing it on July 25th, because that is the last week that most states are allowing you to certify for. Congress is set to meet up again on July 20th to discuss plans about the upcoming stimulus package and whether or not there will be a continued boost to the unemployment benefits. By the time you guys watch this video, most likely Congress is already back in session, and this is probably not enough time to extend the extra $600 since it's only 5 days once they came back. Congress will be in session until August 7th, so if there are no plans or plans of a new stimulus package, we probably won't hear anything until after September 7th. The reason being is that Congress is going to be in recess after August 7th for 32 days after that point. For me, I feel like this is kind of amusing due to the fact that our country is in a national emergency, but our lawmakers are still taking month-long vacations. But anyways, after the recess is up, Congress will still be in session for a few weeks, so if anything were to pass between that time, we probably won't see anything towards the end of the year. But the truth of the reality is, we really don't know for sure if there will be an extension or not, and if it does, when will it happen? So now let's talk about the current discussions that are in place amongst people in the Senate or House of what they want to do with unemployment. There are many individuals in the Senate, which is ran by the Republicans, that are totally against the idea of extending unemployment benefits. The majority of them believe that the extra $600 a week is too much of an incentive that prevents people from going back to work. Some other Republicans, they believe that a $600 a week is too high, but they still would consider a weekly boost if it were to be less. And some of the Congress people, they have stated an amount of $400 or less would be considerable. On the other hand, Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi, she reported that she is open to compromise with the Republicans on the size of the weekly payments, depending on if there will be another round of stimulus checks that will be included on the next package. During a press conference, Pelosi, she did say that she's all for the $600, but she is willing to negotiate. So with the most recent numbers, the Labor Department reported that 1.3 million Americans filed new claims for unemployment during the second week of July. So there is a total estimate of around 32 million people who are still claiming unemployment insurance, or PUA, which is the unemployment for self-employed individuals. Since late March, we had some recovery to our economy of around 8 million jobs. Back in May, the House Democrats, they passed a $3 trillion coronavirus relief bill that would extend $600 a week of unemployment benefits all the way through January, which would also include a second round of stimulus checks for individuals, including dependents. But ever since that bill was passed, there has not been any movement on it. The Treasury Secretary, Steven Mnuchin, he reported that he's not against the idea of boosting unemployment benefits, but he does not want to have it more than 100% of the workers' previous pay. Recently, the Chamber of Commerce, they call for a middle ground of 80 to 90% of the workers' previous pay and a maximum of an additional $400 per week or $200 for states that can't adjust their computer systems to the new amount. The Chamber of Commerce also said that they would like to phase out the benefits based on the unemployment rate. But if this was the case, individuals who are still on unemployment would most likely still be receiving much more money if they were working. So to run some quick math, if someone was making $10 an hour, working 40 hours a week, that would essentially make them $400 a week or $1,600 a month. So 90% of $1,600 would equal to $1,440 plus an additional $1,600 a month due to the unemployment bonus, and that will give you a grand total of $3,040. So for this example, the individual would essentially receive twice as much money while they're on unemployment if they were working. Of course, this is for the maximum situation, which is 90% of their previous paycheck, and also a maximum of $400 per month. If it was 80% and $200 per week, the monthly number would be $2,080. This would still be more than the person's monthly paycheck. While with the next upcoming stimulus package talks, unemployment benefits are not the only discussion. Congress, they will still have to talk about direct stimulus payments, aid to help schools reopen, funding for state and local governments, and protections for businesses. According to a researcher from the National Employment Law Project, he said that if the amount would change from $600 a week, it should not take any longer than a couple of weeks for the aid to reach the recipients. He then also reported if they were to change it to a percentage of the prior income, it would take months because they would have to redo everything on how the benefits are determined, and it would be massively complicated. So far, that's pretty much it for the news that's concerning unemployment benefits. So now let's move on to the frequently asked questions concerning unemployment. So the first question is, what happens after the $600 a week benefit ends? Once the unemployment benefit boost ends, you will still be collecting regular state unemployment benefits. So let's just say that your weekly benefit is $167. Every single week that you're eligible for benefits, that's how much you would be receiving. The next question is, what if I file for unemployment after July 25th? Would I still receive retroactive payments for the extra $600 a week? So if you were unemployed anytime between March 29th and March 25th, during the time where the $600 a week is still applicable, you would still qualify for retroactive payments from the time you became unemployed. So I know that retroactive payments are still troubling a lot of people because they got approved for unemployment, but they're still waiting for that lump sum. But there are also other people who got approved but already got the lump sum. So it's kind of like a mysterious situation right now. It just really depends on the state unemployment offices. All right, so now let's talk about disability and unemployment. So if you were on workers' comp or disability and that claim is about to expire, in most cases, you would not qualify for unemployment. So the main reasons why you would not qualify for unemployment is mainly due to the fact that you have to be eligible to work and you got to be ready to accept work when it comes. But if you were on disability previously, but you're able to work now, then there is a possibility for you to qualify for unemployment. But there are some caveats to this whole situation. This due to the fact that if you're on disability for a long time, this will factor in on your benefits claim and how much you can receive. Because how the state calculates how much benefits that you are entitled to, they really look back at the past 12 to 18 months of your pay from your previous employer. So if you did not earn enough money in that calculation, then you would not qualify. Right, so now let's talk about PUA for a second. So for instance, in California, anyone who's collecting PUA, they initially receive $167 per week. After July 25th, they will just still receive $167 every week until it expires, which is 39 weeks or towards the end of the year. So now let's talk about PEUC, which is the Pandemic Emergency Unemployment Compensation Program. So this program was in place to extend unemployment benefits an extra 13 weeks. The reason why I bring this up is that some people think that when they're on PEUC, which is the extension, that they will continue to receive the extra $600. So they will only receive $600 during the time period that it is eligible, which is anytime between March 29th and July 25th. So for anyone who is on PEUC right now, after July 25th, you will not collect the extra $600. So now let's talk about PEUC and PUA. These are two separate programs for two separate situations. PEUC is for state unemployment benefits, and PUA is an unemployment benefit that's for self-employed individuals. For example, in California, the maximum benefit that anyone can receive is 26 weeks normally. So the extra 13 weeks, they'll give them 39 weeks of unemployment benefits. But if you're on PUA, you already received 39 weeks of benefits, so you would not receive an extra 13 weeks because essentially it's state benefits combined with PUC. That's why the PUA program is 39 weeks. So hopefully I did not confuse you guys too much. So PUA is just 39 weeks. You won't get an additional 13 weeks due to PEUC. So now let me talk more about FedEd. So this information here is going to pertain more towards people who live in California, just due to the fact that it was recently passed there on July 1st. So in a nutshell, this program extends unemployment benefits an additional 20 weeks. So essentially anyone in California, the maximum weeks of benefits that they can claim for is 59 weeks. So how you would get the maximum of 59 weeks is that if you qualify for state unemployment in California, you will get 26 weeks. Then you get PEUC, which is an additional 13 weeks. Then you get FedEd, which is an additional 20 weeks, which comes out to be 59 weeks. And once you're enrolled into FedEd, you will just receive your weekly benefit until that program expires. So as much as we know right now, FedEd does not have an expiration date. So as long as PEUC is in place and once you exhaust that, you will automatically be enrolled into FedEd. Also, FedEd would be applicable to people who are on PUA as well. But the caveat is that as long as PUA is still active, that's when you would still be eligible for FedEd. So let's just say that you qualify for PUA, but it expires on December 31st. After December 31st, you would no longer qualify for PUA. The only way that you would get FedEd is if you qualify for regular state unemployment benefits. Again, I just want to make sure that everybody is aware that this information about the FedEd program is mainly concerning the individuals who live in California. All right, guys, so that pretty much does it for me. If you guys have any questions, just let me know in the comments below. I try to answer as many as I possibly can. And if you guys want to hang out with me some more, check out my videos over here.